Welcome to Around the Peninsula. I'm Army Sergeant Elizabeth Harris. Armed Forces Entertainment brings us back to ancient Greece with a special performance. Sergeant Karen Solano shows us how this play has impacted soldiers' lives.
Against our enemies, you are the only men who can understand.
Theater of War makes its first stop at Camp Boniface with a dramatic reading of scenes from Sophocles' Ajax. The play portrays the downfall of Ajax, a fierce warrior who just lost his best friend Achilles near the end of the Trojan War.
By the throat, he tied it down and ripped out its tongue. Then he lashed it with his
Mental and emotional wellness is the foundation for soldiers to be able to do their jobs and to do them well. So in order to be able to help units and commanders successfully achieve their missions, behavioral health readiness is critical to that.
The ancient Greek drama is used as a catalyst for town hall discussions about the challenges faced by service members, veterans, and their families.
I've seen this several times as a commander and found it to be very, very powerful, a great way for us to realize that through time, the experience of the warrior and the experience of dealing with pain is the same. And the theater of war is a way to help us to see that.
Having the actors come in and actually present something in such a dramatic format first kind of sets the stage for some very good open dialogue with the soldiers. This was some of the best training I think I've gotten in the Army, especially on such a very sensitive topic. So I really enjoyed it.
The project hopes to raise awareness and vigilance about the invisible wounds of combat stress.
The message for me personally is that I want to reach out and say, I see you. I'm with you. You know, you're not alone. There's some of us in America who are aware of the sacrifice that you made.
Army Sergeant Karen Solano, Camp Boniface, Korea.
The Theater of War production will continue to make its way around the peninsula throughout the month of May. Earth Day aims to spread knowledge and inspire actions in defense of environmental protection. Staff Sergeant Soka Hu goes to Daegu American School to witness students becoming environmental stewards.
We'll have some nice apples.
The beginning of new life for a young fruit tree rests in the small hands of Daegu American School students. Garrison Commander Colonel Ted Stevens, along with teachers and students armed with big shovels, give new homes to apple and plum trees.
Earth Day is about people coming together basically to either perform hands-on work or to increase environmental awareness. The students learn directly from their involvement with the project about soils, about planting trees.
The young leaders of America learn the meaning of environmental stewardship. Students also plant vegetables like peppers, cucumbers, and onions in the greenhouse.
This greenhouse was originally built by a Cub Scout. You know, we had a pretty harsh winter right after he built it, and so the Girl Scouts and a couple of classrooms came out and helped reset it so that it would be more viable. And the parent volunteers and the Girl Scouts have really helped maintain it and keep it together. There's no way we would be able to do it without those volunteers in the community.
Reporting from Camp George, Korea, I'm Army Staff Sergeant Soka Hu.
Get a little bit more.
Department of Public Works Environmental Division sponsors the event in celebration of Earth Day. As USAG Humphreys continues to expand, more and more facilities are needed to provide enough services for our soldiers and their families. Catoosa Private First Class Lee Dae-ho takes us to the new school-age center built for our military children.
The new school-age center on Humphreys is here to take care of our children.
Our center offers before and after school care and then full-day summer camps for the 10 weeks during summer.
1, 2, 3.
Our child development services, they focus on birth to kindergarten, and then our center picks up once they hit first grade and we take them to 5th grade.
This facility can take 195 of our kids from school, so that's very important for us as we continue to expand to meet this need.
Any patron that's interested in using CYS services is required to complete full registration through our Parent Central services.
Catoosa Private First Class Lee Dae-ho, USAG Humphreys, Korea.
For more information on the new school-age center, contact the Humphreys CYS services. Running on the street and dancing to a rhythm makes the Humphreys community act as one. Army Sergeant Ricky Perez follows the trail.
No shoving. No Army event seems complete without a safety brief, even if it includes civilians. This 5K event draws attention while adding some rhythm with the run.
So we decided to bring it together with the 5K and the Zumba in the park, so that way we can bring solidarity and cohesion within the community. So that way it lets everyone know that we are against sexual harassment, sexual assault within our Army and within our communities. So we teamed up and wanted to make sure that everybody's fit and strong.
Following the morning's run, participants gather on Freedom Field for a little Zumba.
I just love to dance, and the Zumba part, it just gives a positive environment, positive spirit, and all the girls like to come out and dance together.
Through running on the street and dancing to a beat, the Humphreys community unites in their message of standing together against sexual harassment and assault. Army Sergeant Ricky Perez, Camp Humphreys, Korea.
The Humphreys Garrison and the Humphreys Morale, Welfare, and Recreation teamed up for this project. Language gaps and barriers are a constant reminder of serving in a foreign country. Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp takes us to an event that aims to bridge that gap.
The ability to shoot, move, and communicate on the battlefield is a part of the warrior's basic tasks and skills. Of the three, communication has a way to present issues, especially when operating in a multinational environment such as Korea. That is why the second annual TechNet Korea provides an ethical forum for military, government, and industry communications leaders to collaborate and address challenges facing modern warfighting and national security.
The industry needs to know what problems that we're experiencing. They can guess. There's many things that we want off the shelf because it's good quality, but then there's other issues that we can detect that the civilian world doesn't know yet. So these kinds of situations allow civilian and other companies to identify problems that they can put their resources behind, solve that problem, and then bring that product to us to be able to test and use.
The forum's main focus is in the areas of command, control, communications, computing, and intelligence, or C4I.
We need C4I solutions to counter future challenges, both in armistice and war, in relation to CFC and 8th Army's critical and unique mission sets. These are all no-fail missions, essential for enabling our alliance to deter and defeat the quickly evolving North Korean asymmetric threat. We needed these solutions yesterday. We still need them today, and I can't wait to see what you have developed to ensure that we have them tomorrow.
Army Sergeant Ryan Sharp, Seoul, Korea.
As part of the expo, the final day was a trip to the demilitarized zone. The community of Osan Air Base came together with the 607th Air Support Operations Group to assist the Tactical Air Control Party Association. Airman First Class Lexi West tells us why participants dedicated 24 hours to this event.
Tactical Air Control Party, or TACP members and runners of the Osan Air Base community came out to take on the TACP 24-hour run challenge.
TACP 24-hour challenge is put on by the TACP Association. TACP Association is a nonprofit organization that helps out members of the TACP community, whether they are actual TACP members. They do a lot for Gold Star families. They help build college funds for kids of fallen members. They do funeral expenses, stuff like that.
The funds raised during the challenge go straight back to the TACP community, which helps families know they are never alone. That thought was important to keep in mind when runners were about to hit the wall.
There were times when feet hurt, legs hurt, muscles started to lock up, but kept wanting to push through. The members that we lost gave everything and figured I could at least run to go ahead and show my appreciation for what they've done.
And what the participants have done is brought attention to a worthy cause. Airman First Class Lexi West, Osan Air Base, Korea.
Runners and volunteers supported the TACP Association by remembering the fallen and honoring the living and brothers in need. That was your Around the Peninsula for this week. To see these stories and others, go to the AFN Pacific website or view them through the AFN Pacific app. From all of us at AFN, enjoy your evening.
Got it? We can't stop. We got to come back.
Let's go!
Water, water. Bunch of warriors. That's all you need.